Coming up on City Beat, everything you'd like to know about running a more environmentally friendly home and community can be found at the upcoming Solar Fest. We'll tell you about some of the most common mistakes discovered at the fair, things you might be doing in your own home that could harm our environment. Plus, when complaints come into the city about code violations, trash you can see, noise you can measure in decibels. But what about foul odors? It's a little bit more tricky to prove those violations. Until now, we'll show you why this little device has become a big help to code enforcement officers and residents. And we'll take you to a football camp that not only exposes young athletes to seasoned athletes, but teaches them lessons that will likely stay with them long after their football careers may end. Hi, everybody, and welcome to City Beat from the historic 5th Street School in the Mayor's Gallery. I'm your host, Nancy Byrne. There is a new exhibit on display here by the Nevada Watercolor Society, and we're going to be taking a closer look at these beautiful paintings a little bit later on. But first, if you're looking for something else fun and educational to do with your family and friends, you might want to check out Green Fest in downtown Summerlin. It is an all-day event that involves 150 exhibitors, live music, and much more. Now, the City of Las Vegas doesn't host the event, but they play a big role in it. Here's what you can expect at Green Fest 2017. If you ever thought learning about sustainability, the environment, and conservation had to be boring, head out to downtown Summerlin for Green Fest. This is last year's event where thousands of people enjoyed row after row of interactive and informative exhibits, live music, and more. Well, it's coming back to downtown Summerlin this year, and it's slated to be even bigger and better. And once again, the City of Las Vegas will be back with its own fun booth and giveaways.
The city has been involved in Earth Day activities since the early 1990s, over 25 years ago, starting with the old Earth Fair that used to be down at Sunset Park. Last year's event for Green Fest involved over 20,000 people. We do a lot of public outreach events throughout the year. Green Fest is by far our largest outreach.
John Salvi is an environmental compliance inspector for the City of Las Vegas Public Works Department, which means he inspects and enforces just about anything that has to do with keeping our water clean. But one aspect he really enjoys about his job is reaching out to the public.
We produce a lot of public information material, but nothing beats FaceTime with the general public. We're able to field questions, talk about difficult issues, address controversial issues, talk things about Lake Mead water quality, Las Vegas wash, what should go down your drain, what shouldn't go down your drain.
When he does reach out, there are several topics he finds the public is surprised to hear, like the fact that water that goes into our gutters doesn't go through the city's wastewater treatment plant.
It goes straight to Lake Mead with no treatment whatsoever, which is our primary source of drinking water. So it's important for us to be able to understand that what we're doing out in the gutter affects our water quality and affects our community. So things like washing your paintbrushes in the gutter, things like washing down pesticide into the gutter is a very bad thing to do because it affects our water quality. There's not a community in the country that does full treatment of stormwater. It's economically infeasible. For what you pay for a sewer bill, you'd probably be paying 10 times that to be able to treat stormwater.
Something else that surprises people is the grave damage that can occur when people pour grease down a drain.
We've had people that have actually taken deep frying grease and poured it in their toilets and clogged an entire sewer line. What happens is it goes into the sewer, it goes down about 100 feet if you're using really hot water, and then it gets into the sewer line and it coagulates, and we've seen a sewer line this big turn into a sewer line this big. And when that happens, it causes what we call sanitary sewer overflows. We can get fined for that as a city, not to mention we have raw sewage coming out of a manhole going into the gutter and going into Lake Mead.
He says that's why at festivals like Green Fest, these containers become very much in demand. It's one of the giveaways by the city that benefits residents and the city as a whole. The trailer they now take on the road for outreach events is in itself one big lesson in keeping our water clean. Here it is clearly illustrated what does and does not belong in your drain, toilet, or gutter. Old medications, grease, pool water, automotive fluids, those flushable wipes that are anything but flushable, and those little treats that Fido leaves behind. The city's booth is just one of many exhibits you can expect to enjoy at Green Fest once again this year. A walk through the festival will prove to be extremely informative and, yes, even fun. Greenfest takes place in downtown Summerlin on April 22nd from 9 to 5. Now, this year they're going to kick off the event with an environmentally friendly vehicle procession. It will start at Las Vegas Cyclery at 8 o'clock and go all the way to downtown Summerlin. So if you have a hybrid or maybe an electric car and you'd like to participate, go to greenfestlv.com/procession to sign up. Well, from clean air and energy to a kind of stinky subject, our code enforcement department responds to a lot of calls that involve trash and maybe noisy neighbors, but there's another call they often get that's a little bit more difficult for them to assess. Nuisance odors. Well, there's a new device that the department has that's going to help them out in that area. It may look a little funny, but it has a serious role. When complaints come into the City of Las Vegas Code Enforcement Unit concerning trash, debris, messy streets, or alleys, it's not always a pleasant task for them to investigate, but it's pretty cut and dry. But when they receive complaints about an odor problem, well, that's a little bit more tricky to measure. So city leaders took steps to make that job a little easier with this device. It's called the Nasal Ranger, and it's enabling our officers to investigate and enforce a new city ordinance.
So in March, the City Council passed a new ordinance. It basically rewrote our code having to do with nuisances. In the past, that code did not address odors. And so what our code enforcement people would find is they would go out and receive complaints from citizens about odors at a house or a business, and really they had nothing to gauge it or measure it with. So this device allows them to go out there and get a measurement.
Here's how it works. When a complaint comes in, a code enforcement officer takes this out to the scene. It's sort of like an instrument that measures decibels of sound, but instead measures units of odor.
So the way it works is you put on your nose, just like that, it fits snugly, and then you adjust the filter to how you want to adjust it, and then it's kind of like a breathalyzer. Instead of blowing out, though, you breathe in, so you'd go, and then it gives you a reading up here on the little readout, and that's how you know.
But not to worry, code enforcement officers are not going to be patrolling the streets with the Nasal Ranger. The unit is complaint-driven.
You know, they're not out there on the streets with the Nasal Ranger walking around smelling things. The way it would work is if you, as a citizen, feel there's an odor that needs to be addressed, you would call our code enforcement. They would come out, they would test it. It has to be an odor that's out there for 48 hours, so it can't just be something that's there that blows in and blows out, and then they would take care of it.
And when it comes to cleaning up a problem, the City of Las Vegas code enforcement officers don't just respond to the complainant. They work with the person responsible for the odor to help eliminate the smelly source for the good of everyone. We want to thank Jace Radke, our Senior Public Information Officer, for being such a good sport and demonstrating the Nasal Ranger. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to take you to a camp that teaches football skills and so much more. Stay with us. Congratulations to the City of Las Vegas Employee of the Month, Melissa Evans. Melissa is a Senior Economic Development Specialist. She was instrumental in our Economic and Urban Development Department receiving a very prestigious accreditation from the International Economic Development Council. It was recently announced that the City of Las Vegas has been recognized as an accredited economic development organization. Now, to obtain this accreditation, an organization must undergo an extensive process as well as vetting by the International Economic Development Council. Less than 1% of economic development organizations in the United States has achieved this designation and honor. Earning this accreditation assures our community their business is in good hands. Congratulations to Melissa Evans, the City of Las Vegas Employee of the Month.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Donate stuff, create jobs.
I knew it wasn't going to be easy. Some things take a while to come back.
3, 2, champions!
But I've got some good buddies. I guess they're helping me figure it out. Being used to doing something with a cigarette makes it hard to do it without one. But if I can relearn to hang out with my friends without cigarettes, then I can relearn anything without cigarettes.
Relearn life without cigarettes. Free at becomeanx.org. A new way to think about quitting.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him opening his own clothing store at the age of 18? 1 in 138,000. Excited to be a part of pop culture, he packed for the big city. The odds of finding someone to invest in his vision? 1 in 4.5 million. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew she was special.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. Love. But what really makes up this country of ours? What is it we love? It's the people. Almost half the country belongs to minority groups. People who are lesbian, African American, and bi, and transgender, and Native American, and proud of it. After all, what's more American than freedom to celebrate the things that make us, us? This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, disability, sexuality, race, religion, and any other labels. Because the second any of us judge people based on those labels, we're not really being patriotic, are we? Because love has no labels.
Welcome back to City Beat from the Mayor's Gallery at the historic 5th Street School. You know, anyone who plays sports, whether that be golf or a team sport, will tell you that it teaches more than just physical skills. It teaches respect, discipline, and teamwork. With that in mind, a couple of Las Vegas residents decided they wanted to expose kids with a passion for football great training no matter what their economic level might be. It's called All-American Kids Football Camp, and it exposes these kids to a football field with all levels, from high school to college to pro athletes. These football drills at All-American Park have more than 120 young athletes on their toes on a Saturday morning.
You want to make it so that I'm no longer balanced. I cross step, now I'm out of position. For a DB, being out of position is the worst thing that can happen.
Athletes as young as 6 years old up to age 14. And guess what? It's not just for the boys.
This camp is for everybody. There's no cap. We boys and girls out here, we want to teach these same fundamentals to everybody. As we know, the high school levels have the powder puff teams that the girls actually have out there. So for us to come out here and help out with that too and help both sides, that's what we're all about, is giving back to everybody. We don't want to cap anything.
Athletes on the pro, college, and high school level are here teaching skills most kids would only learn in exclusive, expensive camps. But some 5 years ago, the two co-founders of this camp, Troy Shepard and James Silvis, decided they wanted to give back to this community. So they rounded up athletes who were on the same page.
So we have former NFL college guys that are playing linemen, linebacker, receivers, quarterbacks, running backs, and they take those kids that play in those positions and really break it down into simple techniques and drills. If we don't do something like this, they'll never get this opportunity. And that's why I created this day, so these kids could get taught by the guys that have been so blessed to play at the highest level, and now they want to get back to the community.
The Las Vegas area is home to the men who started the camp. In fact, Troy Shepard is a deputy city marshal with the city's Department of Public Safety. And if you look around, you'll see other City of Las Vegas employees volunteering their time, like Joe Mitchell, special assistant to Councilman Ricky Barlow.
City of Las Vegas has been a huge supporter with this too. We have officers out here helping out. We have guys from Barlow's office out here helping out. City Council is very involved with us as well too. Just a great venue for these kids to give back to the community who don't have the opportunities that we're giving them to them today.
There's a lot going on here at the camp, but it's not just learning techniques from the best of the best.
Good, nice move.
It's learning discipline, teamwork, and respect, something that will stay with these young men and women long after their sports careers may end.
I mean, I'm a local myself. I've been here my whole life, and just to be able to give back to the community, not even on the patrol fashion, which I do, but in a community event like this, such as our All-American camps and Combine for these kids, just to give back. That's the biggest thing. I love to see these looks in these kids' faces.
And at the end of the day, the kids leave with a wealth of knowledge, the good feeling of knowing people care. Oh, and by the way, a full stomach.
It's a win-win today. Kids, coaches, parents. Hey, Coach, can you show the...
Well, residents in one of our more mature neighborhoods in Las Vegas are about to have a brand new place to play and to exercise. It's a little piece of land that used to be part of a school that was torn down many years ago. It's going to be called Mayfair Place Park. We were there for the groundbreaking and to find out what's planned for this little oasis in the middle of the city. This may not look like much right now, but later this year, this dirt, chain link fence, and bulldozers will be replaced by a basketball court, jogging paths, and much more. At the groundbreaking ceremony on March 9th, the plans were revealed.
I want to thank all of you for coming today so that we can celebrate the groundbreaking of the new Mayfair Park Place.
The park, located at 415 South 15th Street, will include a playground with shade, a basketball court, large shade trees, picnic areas, a jogging path, and several fitness stations. Councilman Bob Coffin, who represents this area of the city, said it took 4 years of planning, but it was clearly needed not only to give the area residents a new park, but some peace of mind. An old basketball court was here and was being used at all hours of the night.
We've created a use for the space, a park, but not one that won't be so noisy. One that's going to be very kid-friendly, but not basketball until midnight friendly. One that gives our firefighters an outlet besides the little gym they have inside the building, which is not enough room for a full crew, but also they can come out here and work out and feel like, as the public can see, they are part of the community.
Yes, you heard the councilman correctly. This park will have the added feature of Las Vegas Fire and Rescue firefighters from Station 4 working out here on a regular basis, which is why some of the members of our fire department were on hand for the groundbreaking.
3, 2, 1, pitch it! Yeah. Woo!
The $1.15 million project is being funded through park bonds and is slated to be ready for action in September of this year. So a ribbon-cutting ceremony will mark the opening of the park, and once again, that is planned for September. We're going to take another break, but when we come back, we're going to show you some of these beautiful paintings in the Nevada Watercolor Society exhibit here at the historic 5th Street School. And here's a reminder, clock is ticking on tax day. If you need some help, we might have just the place for you to go. Stay with us.
Keeps me warm. our neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
No more pencils, no more books, no more teachers' dirty looks. School's out for summer. School's out forever. School's out with fever. School's out completely.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%. And it can happen in every place.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org, because great things happen when we live united.
Welcome back to City Beat from the Mayor's Gallery at the historic 5th Street School, where in just a few minutes we're going to show you some of the beautiful watercolor paintings that are on display here. But first, it's hard to believe, but tax day is right around the corner. Now, if you're one of those people who have not done your taxes yet, we could have a solution for you. Once again this year, the City of Las Vegas has some senior and community centers that are offering help. Qualified volunteers are manning their stations. Now, there are no age restrictions that they are willing to help, but there are some income restrictions. But if you qualify, it could be as easy as picking up the phone and making an appointment. The Stupak Community Center had only been offering free tax help for a couple of days the day we visited, and already there were takers. Volunteers from the IRS Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program were here in the computer lab, helping lower income residents get this tax task done.
For any citizens here with an income of $55,000 or less, they can come in and get their taxes prepared for free by trained tax preparers.
Linda Lagoy says there is an income restriction, but there is no age restriction for tax help. And if English is not your first language, not to worry.
We have a number of our staff that are bilingual. Even with the utility tax rebate, I have it scheduled on days where I do have someone who can assist me with Spanish-speaking individuals, because we want to serve the community.
And there's something a little extra being offered here at Stupak, but it's a service limited to lower-income seniors only, and only to those living in the Las Vegas city limit.
We also do the utility tax and sewer rebate program. So that's for any seniors age 60 and older with an income limit, $13,500 if they file their taxes single, $18,900 if they file their taxes as either married or head of household. And with that, they get a rebate, so they get a return of the taxes they pay to the city of Las Vegas on their utilities.
That includes electric, gas, landline phones, and for homeowners, part of their sewer bills. But again, that's just for Las Vegas residents. The staff here at Stupak Community Center say that this is just one more way they feel they are making a difference to the nearby residents in need.
For the most part, any of the seniors that come in here are very, very happy with any support that we can give them. So whether it's with their taxes, we have a community clothes closet here to give to people. We'll often get donations of food and put together packets for our seniors. So here there's a big need. So the seniors know that this is a place where they can get help or someone to talk to, whatever they need.
Here is a list of the participating centers and their phone numbers for you to call and make an appointment. Now, when you call to make your appointment, you might want to inquire about what you need to bring with you. It will vary depending on your situation. You probably need last year's tax returns, a photo ID. Just make sure you ask. You don't want to get there and not have the right documents, have to turn around and make another appointment. Well, we have been coming to you from the Mayor's Gallery at the historic 5th Street School, where there is a beautiful display courtesy of the Nevada Watercolor Society. As we go to close, we're going to show you some of the paintings. You can come see them for yourself, but you have to call and make an appointment. Call 702-229-3515. We'll see you for the next City Beat.